Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Naomi, and today I want to have a little bit of fun with balance. So the way that we are going to play with balance today is to explore different foundations. So for this practice, you will want a blanket or a towel. You'll want a block or a book or two. Okay, something that you won't slip on. You'll want a bolster or maybe a rolled up mat with a blanket on top of it or a couch cushion, something that is more substantial than a blanket or towel and a little squishy. And that should do it, actually. So gather your props and let's get balancing. And I will see you on the other side. Now, I want you to gather all of your supplies for balancing. So you're going to want to get a blanket. Okay, have that set to the side. You need to get a block, set that to the side. And then you'll want a bolster or something that you can fold up that has more of a thickness to it. So it might be, rolling up your yoga mat and then putting a blanket on top of that. Like that is a really good way of modifying there. So I've got these three props to play with dancer pose and also warrior three. First way that we're going to do it is just your standard basic dancer pose into warrior three. So stand on your left leg, please. Bend your right knee. You can bend your left knee too to help make it easier to grab your right foot. You want to hold onto the outside of your foot because that's the easier grip for your shoulder and we don't need to make it harder. Okay? And then as you put your weight into your left leg, so your knee might still be bent, start to kick your right thigh and your foot back. So you're going to tilt forward more over your left leg. Then as you push down through your left leg, you can stretch your chest up and take your arm alongside your ear. It's a good option. Good. From here, extend your right leg straight back. So you got to lift up through your back ribs and reach out through your fingertips. Notice how your foot is wobbling on the floor and then lower your right leg down. Shake whatever you need to out. Now, as a small reminder, before we go to the second side, you can always do this within reach of a wall. Okay, whichever hand is not holding onto your foot can either reach forward or to the side. Okay, so while balance is the point here, if you need just a little bit of emotional support wall, reach out to it, and that is okay. Light touch, but reach for it. Okay, let's go second side. Stand on your right foot. Give your knee a little bit of a bend to bring more weight into your leg. Reach for your left foot with your left hand. Again, holding onto the outside of your foot. Keep your right knee bent as you start to extend your left leg up and away, pushing your foot into your hand, but also moving from your thigh. Okay, now once you've gotten a big lift, then you can push your right leg straight, lift your chest, and extend your right arm. Maybe. You can also keep your right hand at your hip. Or this is not your hip, this is your chest. You could put your hand at your hip, that's a good option. And then extend left leg back, left arm forward if you can, reach out, and pull in at the same time. You could have your arms to the side, remember, or alongside your body, both are fine. But then lower your left leg, lower your arms. Little squatty shake here. And that's your standard, okay? That's just foot on mat, foot on floor. Let's go. Next thing you're gonna do is with a blanket. And this changes things. So take your blanket, put it up near the front of your mat, place your feet on it. And before lifting your leg, just notice the different sensation with your feet on this soft blanket. Okay, shift your weight into your left leg, bend your left knee, reach for your right foot. And again, notice how this feels. Keep your knee bent as you stretch your right foot and thigh up and back. Push your left leg as straight as it'll go and start to lift your chest up. Ooh, it's getting wobbly. Left arm alongside your ear or hand at your chest or at your hip. And then extend your right leg back. Warrior three, arms forward or to the sides or alongside your body. And then lower everything down. That's good. There's another side. So, right foot on your blanket. Okay, bend your right knee, shift down, grab your left foot. Okay, with your knee bent, push your left thigh back and up. And then once you're as stretched as you can be through your left leg, push your right leg straight, right arm alongside your ear or elsewhere. And then transition warrior three, left leg goes back, left arm forward. Whew. And then lower everything down. Okay, that was your blanket. Move that baby off the mat. Grab your block. Now, tricky thing with the block is that my foot is roughly the size of the block, my toes hang off. If your foot is bigger than the block, get a second block if you have one. If you don't have blocks, you could use a book. Make sure that it's not slippery, okay? A thick book. But you're gonna place your left foot on the block. Bend your left knee. Lift your right leg up. And this, it's like you go to grab your foot and you might say, this is it. I don't feel like stretching my leg. That's fine. With your knee bent, push, stretch your right leg. Maybe left arm alongside your ear. Maybe it feels safer to have your hand on your chest right now. But extend your right leg back, right arm forward, or arms out to the sides or alongside your body. Oh, my leg is on fire. And then lower your right leg down. Can you feel a difference between the block and the blanket? Yeah, me too. I really, really can. Okay, second side. So, standing on the block with your right foot, right knee is bent. Reach for your left foot. Keep your knee bent. Maybe extend your left leg back. You got to tilt forward over your right leg. Maybe push your right leg straight, right arm alongside your ear. And then extend left leg back. Whoops. I lost it. Left leg back. Arms forward. And then lower your left leg down. Kick that block. Get it out of the way. Okay, last buddy, the bolster. Okay, lots of ways to use the bolster here. You can lay it across. You could lay it vertical on your mat. Either way is fine. You do want your foot to fit on whatever you are using. Okay, so my foot is a little bit smaller than the width of my bolster, but if your foot is bigger, you could turn your bolster lengthwise. Okay, so delaying the inevitable, step onto the bolster. Whoa. Notice the difference, or if it's a pillow or if it's something else, just notice the difference. Bend your right knee. Let's not hang out here too long. Dancer pose. Push. Straighten your left leg. And then extend your right leg back. Arms forward or somewhere. And then lower your right leg down. Yeah. Yeah, your foot just sinks straight into that thing. Just sinks down. Okay, and then second side. So this is the last one with our fun props. Stand on the bolster with your right leg. Knee is bent as you reach for your left foot. Okay, dancer pose. So you can keep your right knee bent for as long as you need to. Stretch your right leg straight so you push into it. And then extend your left leg straight back, warrior three. And then release your left leg. Okay. And so we're going to do this one more time. I know we've done this two pose sequence 4 times now. We're going to go back to the original. Before we go back to the original, There are so many different ways that you can play with balance here. We're not going to do it today because, we've got to finish our class, but you could do this wearing socks. You could do this outside in the grass. You could do this on sand at the beach. You could do it wearing shoes. Wearing shoes, very different than being barefoot. So a lot of ways that you can play with balance here. So keep that in mind. But for now, we're going to go back to standing on the mat in your bare feet. So stand on your left leg. Reach for your right foot. Oh, how does that feel? So stable. Dancer, you know what to do. Warrior 3, you know what to do. This time, step your right leg way back, high lunge. Just lift up through your chest. Yeah. Good. Push off, come back to stand. Last side. Stand on your right leg. So stable. Bend your left knee, reach for your left foot. Go for it. Dancer pose. You know what to do. Extend up through your left leg. And then reach out through your left leg, warrior 3. Step your left leg back, high lunge. Good. This time, push forward. Step your left leg up and fold forward, forward bend. And just take a few breaths here. Whew. And then when you are ready, you can actually just come straight down to sit. Thank you so much for joining me for that adventure in balancing. So I hope that you enjoyed exploring different foundations, different ways that what you are standing on impacts your balance. And, ultimately, how that increases your awareness of your own body and how your body is supporting you. I think that is a really interesting and really important thing because you're not always going to be balancing on the floor in bare feet. Sometimes you're going to be on the beach or outside or walking your dog, wearing shoes. In fact, as I mentioned at the end of the video, there are so many other ways that you can approach balancing that are not the 3 props that I suggested. You could wear socks or slippers. You could wear shoes. You could do this outside on the grass. You could do it on the beach. You could do it wearing high heels if you're feeling adventurous, right? You can play with balance in so many different ways. Okay, with so many different foundations. And not only will that actually help make your ankles and your knees and your thighs and your back a lot stronger, right? Because you're loading them in different ways. But it also will help you find a different sense of foundation, not just through your feet, right? But internally, right? You start to find a different center that you can root into, a different place that you can find support. So, I hope that gives you some really fun inspiration for playing with balance, but also some really good insights into where you can find additional strength for balance and not just in your feet, not just relying on your feet. So definitely training your joints in the lower half of your body to support you in a variety of different foundations, but also saying to your core muscles, hey, help me out here. So, thank you again for doing this with me. And as always, I look forward to seeing you back in the mat again really soon. Until then, bye.